And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hi folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're going to talk about the terror that flaps in the night, the chill that runs up your spine, the spider that nips at your neck, the widget that's missing from the easy-to-assemble swing set, Darkwing Duck. This is for Funkoverse. Funkoverse is a game where you can take different characters from Harry Potter, DC Universe, the Kool-Aid Man, and fight against one another. This is not something you can play by itself. You need to know how to play Funkoverse. This is just a single character that can be used in Funkoverse. But what a character! Now, I'm very sad that it's not a two-pack with Launchpad McQuack not included, but Darkwing Duck, a very popular character from the Disney afternoon, and I'm sure has a lot of nostalgia. Well, that's cool. We all know it's a fun character, but is it a fun character in this game? Let's find out. Darkwing Duck here is just one character, comes with the tokens that are needed to activate his special abilities, comes with a gas gun, some tokens that match the gas gun, some purple crystals because why not. So that's pretty much all that's included with this, other than some rules that talk about terrain, because terrain is something that matters here. So let's talk about Darkwing Duck and his gas gun, because they honestly work together pretty well. Darkwing Duck has a Let's Get Dangerous. There's a challenge of 3, and if there are 2 or more adjacent rivals, he gets an extra die. That's pretty strong. That's a good special ability. He's good in hand-to-hand combat, especially against 2 people. Daring Duck of Mystery lets him move 3, and if he starts his next door rival, he can do an assist or interact action. So there's a lot of maneuverability. And then Incredibly Resilient, you can stand him up, he can do this while knocked down. So this is something that he's not the only person to have this, but he can get back up. None of that stuff is that exciting, it's okay. What makes him really useful is his I am the terror that flaps in the night. So at the start of his turn, if no rival can see him, you place him adjacent to a rival that's within 3 squares. So if no one can see him, he basically gets a free move, boom. And if he has Let's Get Dangerous, that's a really good combo. So if no one can see him, so that means he could be around the corner. But more importantly, if he's in obscured terrain, you can't see into or through obscured terrain. Now, not every board has obscured terrain, but the gas gun, which Darkwing Duck can have here at the start of his turn, you can place or move a smoke token onto a square you can see within 2 squares. Smoke tokens are obscured terrain. So honestly, the gas gun is almost necessary for Darkwing Duck. Not quite necessary, but so he can basically shoot smoke, get into that spot, and then next turn move out of that spot, hit the rivals. Now your rivals can move around and try to avoid this sort of thing, and it's kind of like the surprise that you see coming to some degree, but that's how this works. The gas gun would work with other characters too, but it's hard to imagine Darkwing Duck nearly as effective without the gas gun. Darkwing Duck is very similar to the Kool-Aid Man for me, which has probably not ever been said by someone before, but they're both super fun characters. I want to use them. I want to use them as a team, but they're in the lower tier of actually characters I like to play with. Now, don't get me wrong, Darkwing Duck's gas gun and his ability to jump out of the shadows and get people, that's a cool thing. It's just that it's not necessarily the style I want to play all the time, and I don't feel like he's one of the more powerful characters. It doesn't matter. People are going to see Darkwing Duck on the shelf and they're going to buy it. You know, if you're watching this, you probably already are planning to do so. And also, it's not a bad character. It's a good character. I mean, there's no Funkoverse character which I think is just bad. And he has some really cool powers. I guess maybe he's not as much my playstyle, but I still might pick him because of the theming there. Especially if they bring in anyone else from the Disney afternoon. I'm definitely on board with that. So Darkwing Duck, terror that flaps in the night, the reviewer who reviews poorly, or whatever he might be, the newest addition to the Funkoverse universe. Check it out. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time. Dice Tower Judgment approved.